Go ahead. Boom.
So we live?
We're live.
Well, doing the show. First time this year. What is it, August? What date is it? August what?
30th?
30th.
2022.
Yep.
First preseason pivot for the first time. We're going to just do a little Look at Me Louie show, look at some prices, get some opinions, and set up for our first show next week.
We should dim the lights a little bit.
Oh, we got new lights. So
Yeah,
See it.
much
Let's
more
see how
romantic.
that. Yeah. That's. I mean, it'll kick in a second.
So
yeah. Boom. Much. Well,
you look sexier for sure.
I look sexier. You look a little dark. All right. Tad bit up.
I mean, I don't mind looking a little dark, so.
Just a tad bit, like a little pinch. Oh, that was a lot.
That's too much?
Little pinch on down, up. Those are big pinches. I think that was good, what you just did there.
I think it looks good.
Yeah, looks good. Boom!
Okay, like I said, we're The Pivot. We're live from Crybaby Hill. We're brought to you by Vast Bank. We're executively produced by Toby Buchanan. And we are Matt and who are you guys?
We got the juice over here,
Oh, wow. We're
Hey,
doing
what's up?
and we got Jared.
I like the...
I'm kind of known as I'm Red Ryan, so I mean, if you call me Ryan, I will
Nobody's going to
respond
call you
it.
that. Not here.
Well, we'll see what happens.
We'll call you. You got shit to do.
Real quick question, though.
What's that?
Are we produced by Toby Buchanan or Biocchini?
Did I say Buchanan?
You did.
I apologize.
Okay.
Toby Buchanan.
We love Toby
apologize.
Buchanan, but I just
Yes,
didn't
Toby
wanna-
Buchanan doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
Toby Biocchini does everything, and thank you, Toby, for your lasting support of the
Juice's
show.
camera looks awesome, I just gotta say right now.
Does he? He always
The best
looks
it's
good.
ever
the
looked.
Complexion. He looks smart too with the glasses, right?
Well, it's my vision's going, so I need to wear readers now.
We need to put my camera over here because I'm more apt to like look this way.
We can do that.
But we're good for it today. So what are we here to do today, guys? What's our plan?
We're gonna review salaries for week 1 and just get a feel for
Talk
the
about
thing.
some players, maybe go through positions and talk about some guys that are
Yep.
standing out.
Crazy news: the Robinson got shot in that.
Yeah, own him on about 80% of my high stakes fantasy leagues I've drafted so far. So prayers for my teams are needed.
Yep. And prayers for him mainly, right?
And him. I was getting there. You interrupted me. I mean, obviously the team is important too.
Of course.
Yes, that sucks to be shot. I had a friend who her father was shot in a very similar town, right near where he was shot and killed it when she was a child. That sucks. Carjacking shootings are crazy.
They are crazy.
Do we know the severity of the shot?
It looks like he'll still be available by week 4.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Okay.
so he was good. Like he was not in
probably
critical
refocus
condition.
those prayers away from my team. They don't seem to be needed. So they're gonna be okay. I
So
think.
all you Antonio Gibson owners,
He's gonna looks back. He
Yeah.
looks back. I mean, so I don't know how you want to jump in this. I think usually during the show, as our loyal listeners and viewers know, we like to start off and talk about games first, where the points are coming from, and then we'd kind of jump into players after that. Let's start there.
Do we want to touch on the fact that there was a new podcast that came out 6 months ago that took our name,
The Pivot.
The Pivot?
I mean, it's an interesting. As a lawyer, I mean, we're in the right here. We were original. We have timestamp
Right.
to prove that. Our name's not going anywhere. We need you listeners to the show to make us big enough that we can win this battle if it's ever necessary.
If anything, it's going to help us most likely.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get confused. We're The Pivot featuring the juice. We're the ones who giving you the DFS goods. We're what, second, coming off a second race league?
Second. And what did we get the year before?
Third, but
Third.
we would have gotten second the year before, but we changed our lineup accordingly, just to. But we had a second place lineup, but we changed it to try to compete with first place. Anyway, second, third, not bad. We won 80% of our cash lineups last year. We're putting out. We're 2 years in, and we're finally putting up some real some numbers to support the fact that we think we're good. What do you think about that, Juice?
I mean, we also won the playoffs going away.
Well, I was gonna get to that.
You-
We swept.
you
the
guys did.
Juice did.
Yeah.
Let's just be real. Juice did. That was all him, man.
I mean, we basically won every week in the playoffs for the most part. We got hot at the right time last year. Like
Yeah.
we just went on a roll.
We admit as a show, there were some, every show and relationship and family has some downs and ups and struggles. And there was a point where the pivot last year was struggling. And it showed with our production. And man, we snapped out of it and gave you guys some lineups, and we made ourselves some money in the meantime. So,
Yeah.
we're here to have some fun, as Jared likes to remind us, and we hope you guys have some fun. And it's more fun when you guys listen and give us some feedback. So, do that. And what else, Juice? What else you think you got before we jump into doing some analysis here?
It's the NFL cuts their roster cut day today.
So that will obviously be information that we'll come back next week and touch on, and as we build a lineup for week one. We're not going to build a lineup this week. We're going to just kind of talk about guys we're looking at, right?
Yeah, I think I don't want to sort of jinx us, but I feel like we've put in the most work this offseason than any other.
I would
year.
agree. I have more high stakes season-long teams than I've ever had. I have more money invested in fantasy.
I have more best balls than I've ever had.
Yeah, lots of best balls. A bit, Toby and I have discussed a lot of analysis and drafting. Julio and I think we're ready, right?
We're good to go.
Hot out
Interesting.
of the chute. That's what this year's going to be.
Hot out of the chute. This
Right?
doesn't really matter that much, but Juice was talking about cuts are happening today. One cut that did happen, which only affected my dynasty team, not really at all, but Josh Gordon is no longer a Kansas City.
Chief. Wow, that
Yeah.
seemed like a good spot for him if he was going to make a team.
What a impact he made on the Chiefs, right?
All right. Like I said, it doesn't matter, but it is news that I heard today.
I mean, that guy was arguably the most talented receiver in the league a few years ago.
Yeah,
Remember?
it's pretty
I
crazy.
mean,
I mean,
what a fall from grace, really. I hope he gets his life back.
the
Together.
first year of the Invitational in Las Vegas, the Invitational was a league set up by the FFWC, which invites 12 of the top 100 players. The first year they did it, Toby, Chris, and I drafted a team. Josh Gordon was on the team and swept the league. He was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he
I remember.
and he has been downhill ever since.
Sucks.
Yeah.
I was rooting for him.
Anyway, where do we want to start? I say we don't want to do 50-cent pieces this week because we're going to do that next week for the show. But are there any game? Just quickly, is there a game that you're like focusing on, or what's kind of your focus for? Tell us this, Juice. How do you go about making a week one lineup? Like,
Yeah.
what do you look at when you're starting your week one lineup?
Do you got any insight on good matchups for week one?
So here's the thing. I was reading that 80% of the 50-point spreads for the entire season are coming out of the AFC West.
Oh wow, that makes sense. So we got
So-
Broncos, Chargers, Seahawks,
Raiders.
Yes.
Chiefs.
Wow. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, just going to be some shootouts. So I think you're probably going to want to target a few of those teams this season just because they're going to be involved in a lot of high-scoring games.
And a lot of listeners do a lot of season long, and there's a lot of crossover, and so that would make sense also for season long, as those being the teams that you would want to try to build around. Correct?
Yeah.
Who might be some of the, so if the industry is loving the AFC West, who's the Juice loving? Is there any dark horse? I mean,